Hey guys, Ironfire here, and welcome to episode 3 of my Redstone tutorial. Let's get right into it. First item on the list is the tripwire hook. You can craft two using this recipe. Any plank, a stick, and an iron ingot. To activate it, you just simply need to step inside the string, which is this right here. To set it down, you're going to need two of them on opposite sides of the build with string connecting them together, and you can have it as long as you want, so it could be pretty hidden. Next item is powered versus active blocks. A powered block is directly connected to a power source or to a string of redstone. A powered block will set off active blocks next to it. So when this block right here is powered, all of these will be directly next to it will be activated. But an active block will not do the same for blocks next to it. Next is a little bonus thing to the sticky piston, which is the slime block, which along with its own uses, which are not redstone, it can do this, allowing you to move multiple blocks with a single piston. You can even move other pistons using this, which is extremely useful, as we'll see later in the series. To craft it, you need to fill the crafting space with slime balls. Pretty neat trick. Next is the comparator. I like to jokingly call it the math block, because there are a lot of equations used to calculate it. But to put it in layman's terms, a single item will, no matter what, will always give a 1 signal, going a single block, when these two torches are facing towards the storage. The output is where the 1 torch is facing. And whenever it is filled, however many spaces that is, for a furnace it's only these 3, and for a dispenser it's these 9, it will give a full 15 block signal. These are the various items you can use with a comparator. A cauldron, you'll be using water and then emptying it slightly with glass bottles 1/3 at a time. A jukebox does not have a storage, but instead you're going to need to grab a disc and put it in. Each disc will have a slightly different output from the last. Next item on the list is the trapped chest. Very close in common in looks with a regular chest. Let me just grab one of those here so you can see them side by side. You'll notice that the trap chest has a slightly red ring around the lock, otherwise indistinguishable. When used, a trap chest will give a single 1 block signal to all the redstone around it. If you're going to want to continue that signal, you will have to use a repeater. But that isn't really much of a problem, since you can hide the repeater within a wall fairly easily. Next is the daylight sensor, which normally would look like this. Now, as you can see on this clock, it is currently midnight, so a daylight sensor won't do us much good. Think of it sort of as a solar panel. At noon, it'll be at full power, where during sunrise and sunset, it won't have a lot of power. To craft it, you're going to need these 3, you're going to need 3 of any wood slab, 3 quartz, and 3 glass. If you right-click it, it'll switch to a moonlight sensor, detecting the moon rather than the sun. Hold up. Since it is currently midnight, it is at its max power for the moonlight sensor, which will go a full 11 blocks. For noon With the daylight sensor, it will go 14 or 15, depending on other circumstances. The redstone torch, what am I doing? Okay, next item is the comparator's other function, which is first the compare. I've set up 3 levers that will give signals of less than, equal, or greater strength into the side of the comparator compared to what signal is put into the back. If you put a less than signal, nothing will happen. This lamp will still be powered. A comparator continues the signal from the back, so this is just as strong as this. This lever right here will give us an equal signal, which will also do nothing in this mode, where if we take this lever here, which is just 1 greater, it'll completely turn the comparator off, leaving this as a 0 signal here. Next, it has a third mode, which is similar in use. Well, that won't really matter. If we turn on this lever, it will power most, but not all of these lamps. And then, so this is currently 14. We take this 5, and now it will only be 9. It is in its subtract mode. If we are to put an equal signal over here, it'll turn it off. And if we were to put a barely weaker signal, it'll only go 2 blocks. Very useful for creating puzzles, but when it comes to traps and for convenience sake, it doesn't have very many uses. Well, that'll do it for this episode. We'll see you next time. Iron out.